It's going good, going good. It's my first podcast, so this will be interesting.
Well, don't mess up, man. It's easy.
All right.
No pressure. No pressure. All right. So as we go through here, I'm just gonna. You'll see that we'll just come up with questions as we go. It's very, very informal, so there's no need to be aggravated by us.
Are we online?
We're on.
Okay.
So what's up, man? Tell me about barbell ballistics, how you got into it. Or do you want to start at the beginning and just how you got into it to begin with?
How I got into barbell ballistics?
Well, we'll start how you got into the field anyway.
Just strength and conditioning and regular?
Yeah. Like what, did you come across somebody who's like, that guy was a good coach, he really influenced my life, or how did it go?
I would say it started in, I guess the journey started in high school. I had broke my leg and I was in regular PE. And I was talking to PE coach about the stuff that I should be doing. I'm on crutches. I'm not going to play soccer. And then just at that time, the football coach had come around the corner and he's like, "Hey, get his ass in the weight room, and he can do upper body." So then from then on, I loved being in the weight room, and I just stuck to that. I didn't go back to regular PE. So finished out high school doing the strength program there at the school. So that was exciting. When I went to junior college, I had a lot of injuries, partially from riding my dirt bike, breaking my ankles and whatnot, thinking I was awesome, but definitely, obviously not, right? So I was in the training office a lot, doing like hot, cold, just, trying to work mobility in the ankles and whatnot. And talking with the athletic trainers, that kind of sparked a little interest. So after I left there, that's when I went to Cal State San Bernardino, and really got into kines. And then just talking with like Kyle, Garrett, working out in the weight room, talking with different people, Andrea and whatnot, that just kind of really solidified it and made, strength and conditioning is definitely what I want to do. So I went and interned at UCR, and oversaw the Fullerton program for a little while. And then, as I was at Fullerton, got that UCLA internship and also the internship with the Clippers. So, I mean, that just kind of, set it going in the right direction for me.
So how did those, how was each internship different, or what else, or what did you take from each internship? Well, you actually worked underneath the same guy when you're at UCLA and the Clippers, right?
Not exactly. He was with basketball, and I wasn't with basketball dominantly. So in UCLA, it was more like training mass athletes, and I had a few different sports. So it was like a larger facility to manage, and just so I learned a more broad sense there. And then moving from there to the Clippers, it was quite different. It was almost more of a one-on-one setting. Yeah, the whole team was there, but they had the nice little flow, walk in, get your breakfast, which they had their own personal chef, go right to the athletic training room, get their massage, whatever they needed. Some people went above and beyond, and then right out to the weight room, which fed right out into the court. So it was kind of a nice little system, and each person had their own special thing, whether they worked with a strength coach or not, or they had their own guy.
So sometimes they'd bring in their own guy?
Yeah, well, not on facility. They probably train off-site.
Oh, okay. I was kind of curious about that.
Yeah.
So what did you take from each of those? So did you, how could you draw from each one? So you've worked at Riverside, Cal State Fullerton, UCLA, and for the Clippers. So how was each of those experiences different for you, and what did you take from them?
I would say the first two, like UCR and Fullerton, I was just more so a fly on the wall, I guess you could say. I mean, I helped out, but not as much as I did at UCLA. So mainly just overviewing and asking questions at Fullerton and UCR. And then when I got to UCLA, it was a lot more hands-on. In the beginning, we did a lot of like drills and stuff with just the coach to see how their training was. So that was helpful. We actually had to train ourselves. And that just managing a lot of different athletes and personalities and learning how to modify on the spot. And if this section of the weight room wasn't open because this coach was using it, kind of just changing things up on the fly. And, really just learning to think on your feet was like one of the best aspects of that, because you were dealing with so many athletes at once. That would probably be the biggest takeaway from at UCLA, and just organization of their training also.
So working with, go ahead, bud.
Oh yeah, no, go ahead. I was done.
No, I was going to ask, like, so being in that, oh cool, I think I've, oh gosh, hold on, I got my sister on here. That didn't mean to happen. I'm going to have to actually mute her and hide her. So, how did I do that? So each one of these experiences, you took something differently. So you figured out how to organize a weight room at UCLA, and that wasn't the case. You were like, you had some luxury at the Clippers. All right.
Yeah, so thinking more along the lines of, I'm trying to get to my highest performance. I'm in college, so we're trying to be as efficient as possible and not waste their time, abiding by NCAA rules and whatnot. They're limited to their hours in the weight room, so we got to get them in, get them out. And then moving to the Clippers, they have, all day, and it's more about trying to motivate also at the same time. Even though they're high-level athletes, sometimes you still have to motivate them and keep them on task. Sometimes It's pretty difficult. Just making sure they have their proper nutrition, like post-workout shakes and whatnot. So, and then there's a lot more corrective work that goes into professional athletes. You're at the top of your game, so rather than striving for more and more performance, it's more about injury reduction, especially throughout the season. That was probably the biggest difference, where at UCLA we kind of try to stay up on them throughout. Trying to make, like, rather than a little more than maintain, I would say.
Right.
Yeah.
So the next thing, so now you've got your own gig. You've got a couple of things. So we want to start talking about that. What are you doing?
Yeah. So I just moved to Riverside, and one of the my girlfriend knows one of the guys that was opening this CrossFit gym, or it was already open, I should say, and he just let me lift there for free. I was just practicing my Olympic lifts and whatnot, and training. And then the morning coach, he tore his ACL, and then so I told the manager, I was like, hey, I coach, I'll take over, cover him until he gets back. And he said, all right. And then the rest is kind of history from there. I just kind of started working there as part-time. It was easy to do because I could still go to school while I did that. So still doing that right now. And then I started Barbell Ballistics because I wanted to have my own business. Eventually open my own gym, just not sure exactly where I want that to be. So Barbell Ballistics right now is mainly my weightlifting team, and we go out and we compete at local events. I actually got a young kid who looks like he's going to be ready to qualify for the Open soon, so that's exciting. But that's kind of the birth of Barbell Ballistics. So I just, as of right now, working on expanding it.
So what are you doing in terms of like your promotional stuff? Like, because I know that you're pretty active on social media, but what else are you doing? Like just word of mouth for now?
Word of mouth for now, just so I can manage the athletes that I have, and then social media is the main source. I've got some people coming from different CrossFit boxes to come to ours.
That's cool.
To get strong, because a lot of times, a lot of CrossFit gyms will just throw up the workout of the day, which is dominantly cardio based. There is weightlifting involved, obviously, but they don't have much structure on how to get strong. So that's kind of what I provide for the CrossFit athlete.
All right. So what are you doing that's so right? What are you doing that makes people stronger that other people aren't doing? You're saying that they're going with more cardio based stuff. So how is that different from what you're doing? Like, give me a workout where you're trying to gain strength.
Gain strength?
Or power, whatever.
Yeah, I would say we're working just Olympic lifts. I try to follow Prilipin's chart, training optimally rather than minimally or maximally. CrossFit world, everybody's thinking more is better. So it kind of is hard to get that point across to them, to let them know, what they should be doing. Oh, this is because the strength training is so foreign to a CrossFitter. Everything's for time. So my biggest goal is, how do I disguise a general strength and conditioning program that's periodized? How do I disguise that and make it look like a CrossFit workout?
Right.
So whether that be like, say I'm doing a 5x5 and I want them to rest every minute, go every minute, then I can just call it an EMOM. That's a common CrossFit workout. Or if it's 2-minute rest, I want them, every other minute on the minute. So stuff like that kind of trick them into thinking they're doing CrossFit, and add that strength component a little bit more often.
Are you starting to see more athletes playing both realms, or are they picking sides like, you know what, I'm really good at Olympic lifting, I'm going to stick with Olympic lifting, or I'm just crushing it at CrossFit? So are you seeing people choose, or are you seeing people that sort of the sport chooses them situation?
Not yet on the sport chooses them, I would say. The larger athletes will tend to either venture towards the powerlifting or weightlifting.
Okay.
A lot of people will bounce back and forth. They don't know what they want.
So you're doing you're training powerlifting too?
Yeah. As of right now, I don't have anybody that's doing that other than the manager at the gym. He does it recreationally. I don't have anybody specifically wanting to get ready for a powerlifting event yet.
But you'll be ready when they do. All right.
Yeah.
So what are you doing? What are you doing with the police? So you're going to start working with the police department. So what are you going to be doing with them?
So I'll be working for Santa Ana College. I'll be doing labs and lectures. Say hi.
Hi.
Hello. What's her name?
Amber.
Rose not Stromberg.
Apparently I'm going to be learning about genies. Tell me about genies, Amber.
Yeah, shimmer and shine, right?
Shimmer and shine.
The genie's divine, huh? All right, go watch your show, and then I'll come get you when I'm done, okay?
I'll bring this out here.
Uh-oh. All right. She's going to bring what's over here now.
Sweet, man. Yeah, I had a buddy who was telling me all about My Little Ponies. and I learned because he was like telling me the backstory of all of it. So it's okay. So you're at Santa Ana College. You're going to start
So I'll be doing either labs, lectures, or fitness testing for the fire and police.
Okay.
Okay. Show them.
Shimmer and Shine?
Can you see it?
It's a Shimmer and Shine movie.
Okay. Which one's Shimmer? The one in the... Okay, I'm going to guess Shimmer's the one in the red.
No. Pink hair. Shimmer's the one in the purple and pink hair. And then Shine's the one wearing the blue clothes and the blue hair.
Okay.
And then these are the pets. Nahal's Shine's pet, and then Tala's Shimmer's pet. And this is the back.
And that's the back, so you know what's going on. Little quick synopsis on the wishing.
There's Shimmer and Shines on here because it said 7 Shimmer and Shines. That's 7 Shimmer and Shines on DVD.
Okay, I'll come get you when I'm done. Okay.
Hey, so I guess speaking of DVDs, so what are you watching right now? What are you reading? Who are you researching?
As of right now, I'm just looking at these old Russian weightlifting books. I got them from Sportivny Press. Any of those, like programming and organization and training. That's Verkhoshansky, and just a bunch of ones. Like Westside's been pushing those to read those because they base their system off of all Olympic lifting, actually weightlifting. Yeah. Old research, and it's kind of interesting because they're doing their research, or it's older research, basically on elite athletes, and a lot of the research that we get are on athletes that are they're sometimes some are trained, some are, you know, not trained. You know, it's hard to, you got to kind of pick and choose. So I'm just kind of looking at it all kind of right now.
So you doing any, like, you say you're going movement quality stuff. So who do you follow for the movement quality stuff?
I started out following Gray Cook and doing all his stuff. I was a big fan of the FMS. I don't necessarily do the full FMS at the moment with a lot of people. That would be, if somebody requests it, then I'll do it. With so many people, and a lot of them don't care at the CrossFit at the moment.
Right.
I'll just have to find, you know, be able to pinpoint it as they're moving, why they're squatting or lunging. I'll have to just pick parts out and try to give them mobility homework.
So do you do any like correctives beforehand, like correctives during practice or warm-ups or anything like that? Like I used to do like a lot of hurdle work and a lot of like hip mobility work and and this was within my warm-up. Yeah.
So I'll stick to that with like a dynamic warm-up and, you know, working in some of that stuff there, depending on which day it is. It's overhead squat day, you know, spend a little bit more time on mobility, open up the hips and shoulders and whatnot. But it's all worked into the warm-up. It's just easier that way. A lot of people aren't consistent when you're coaching the CrossFit, but with the weightlifters, it's a little easier to, you know, I can break them down and, you know, give them something specific for them. That's a little easier because I don't have as many weightlifters as I do CrossFitters.
So is there a certain mindset you have to have, like once you're coaching one or the other?
Yeah.
Like CrossFit or?
Yeah, my population, CrossFit, they're just, a lot of them are there for fun. They just want to get in shape, lose weight. They're in there for the fitness aspect of CrossFit. So I try to encourage them not to, you know, get so excited about doing these kipping pull-ups and these muscle-ups, as well as, you know, let's try to perform a squat correctly. Let's stuff like that. So I deal with a lot more fitness at the moment when in the CrossFit, but the ones that are trying to compete, then that's the ones we spend more time with, and whether it's CrossFit or weightlifting or powerlifting.
So how do those two distinguish? How do you distinguish someone who's a competitor versus a participant? Because I made that distinction when I was coaching track and field. I'm like, yeah, these kids are not going to score any points for me, but they're having a good time. So how do you distinguish between the two for you?
Well, a lot of times they will either ask to compete or we will ask them to compete. So if we see somebody that looks like they're, you know, pushing themselves, well, hey, are you interested in competing? And then we can kind of categorize them that way. Just trying to, you know, talk to the members, see what their goals are. That's probably the easiest way. And then once, you know, I mean, you have your people that want to compete, you can kind of see who's really putting the effort, who has some natural skill. A lot of it depends on your background, you know, if you're able to handle a lot of that work capacity with CrossFit. So, I mean, you can kind of see that after a few weeks of working out. If you see them for 3 weeks going tough, and then all of a sudden you don't see them for a couple of weeks, maybe they're not recovering, so, or maybe they're not serious. So there's a couple of things going on there. So that's probably, it's a little harder to figure it out with CrossFit because there's so many different moves. I imagine track, you can spot that quite easily.
Oh yeah. Just like a handful of tests, man. It doesn't, and sometimes you just have like the eye test and like that person looks explosive. And yeah, you can make that distinction right away. So is there anyone that you sort of reach out to, anybody you follow on Instagram or like Twitter that like that researcher's really, he's really speaking to me. Like I like the research he's doing. Is there anyone like that you're looking at or following?
As of right now, I just been in the books that I have because I have a stack of books I'm trying to get through. I haven't been doing like much. Like
your summer reading list or something?
Yeah, I haven't been doing much research like I should be. Reaching out wise, a couple weeks ago into Mike Bergner's gym. That was awesome. Got to train in his garage. It's pretty fun over there.
Yeah, that's cool, man. I was telling like the networking part and how important it is. So like a lot of people would they don't take advantage of it. They don't reach out to somebody like we, you know, we keep in touch.
Right.
That's sort of what we do. And but we try to keep our circles like nice and small, and we're really trying to branch that stuff out, and people are really valuable in that they're going to cue something up differently. They're going to have a different idea on how to, train, like for me, like through track season, through like a competition season, on how to continue to develop power. Like that stuff is, I think it's important. I'm trying to encourage people to do that, more of that. And that's sort of why I'm reaching out to you and doing this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what advice do you give to somebody that wants to reach out? I'm going to have Whitney come on over here. We're going to share a screen here.
Yeah, no problem. I'd say reaching out is pretty important. I don't do it nearly as much as I should. I guess that's my poor time management skills. But if somebody's reaching out to me and looking for help, usually they'll have something specific in mind, like a certain question that they're trying to answer, and I'll try to forward them either website or book that they should start reading on to kind of figure more out about that topic, and then I can tell them who I know that deals with those kinds of people.
All right, we're gonna try this out, man. So, can you hear him at all?
Mm-mm.
All right. How about now? Hey, you're gonna have to say something so she can hear you.
Hello.
I know.
All right, let me see if I can find another plug. I'll just put you on with them for a little bit.
Do we have to have it in the plug?
Maybe not. All right, can you hear us, LJ?
I can.
Oh, there you go.
I can hear me too.
Yeah.
Is it a terrible echo or what?
Yeah.
All right. So, are you finding more? Well, these are Whitney's questions. She's got some questions for you, bud.
Okay.
Yeah, I was listening through YouTube while I was trying to get set up. But as far as like the weightlifting CrossFit, so do you get a lot of people asking you maybe, how do you feel about CrossFit, since they may know that you're more strength-based or strength coach related?
Oh, no, that's good.
Yeah, I do get a few of those questions. I'm just a bigger guy. CrossFit just doesn't, take well to larger people. I guess that would be my first answer. I do CrossFit. I do the workouts with the class and whatnot. So I'm not 100% biased. I don't just do weightlifting. There's not like a line, but no. I kind of lost your question. Sorry. On my rant.
Well, just being able to have an opinion on whether you answered it fine. We get this, especially being strength coaches. How many times we get that question? Do you like strength or do you like CrossFit? And it's like, it's not that I hate CrossFit. Some boxes aren't teaching correct movement. They're, like you said, they're all about time. They don't understand strength and having good form with the squat or the deadlift. But
yeah, just writing things on the board and then just, good luck is what I see in some places, which is tough to hear and watch. But yeah, I try to encourage everybody to try to do some type of strength training. I push for that to be into the program at the gym I'm at. And then just kind of reassure people like, hey, this is quite different from CrossFit, but this is going to help you, perform those workouts as they're prescribed. If the workout's, 135-pound snatch or something, how are you going to get to that? You got to practice that, that movement, and you got to get good at it. You can't just keep wadding and then just hope that that skill comes. So that's kind of I'd say that's the hardest thing to break through to people, because they just I just got to get this done. They see it as just work. They're restricted by the sets and reps and the clock, rather than some people you try to say, hey, don't worry about the clock, don't worry about this, just slow down, and then you'll come back, you'll look at them as you help someone else, and you'll see them speed back up and have terrible form again. So that's kind of an ongoing battle a lot of times.
Has CrossFit and like the, I guess, strength and conditioning field, have they reconciled at all? Or have you seen that, or is there still like at odds or loggerheads? Honestly, I haven't followed it. Like, are you seeing that?
I think it's getting better. A lot of the like there's a few websites out there that post their workouts of the day. You know, one like whether it's competitors training or just, you know, the main site. I see a little bit more strength involved. So I think it's kind of, they're trying to blend it. Some of the continuing education that the CrossFit's been doing has been playing catch up with our field. So I think they're slowly blending. So, I mean, a lot of people I think still hate CrossFit, but I mean,
Well, you're going to.
how could you hate it? It's a sport of strength and conditioning.
People just want to compete, yeah.
Yeah, you're competing in strength and conditioning, and that's what I do. So that's why I like it.
Yeah. But I mean, if you're going to put it like, I would, you know, hazard to guess that if you train more systematically, that you're going to be better at anything. So if you have a purpose behind everything, like everything you do, and have an end goal, that's going to be better than any randomized anything.
Yeah, absolutely. Failing to prepare is preparing to fail, right?
Yeah, man. Where'd you hear that?
Where'd I hear that? I don't know. But yeah,
I like the, like, I'm starting to see a lot of people starting to quote, like, really, I don't know, just like, yeah, if you have the only tool in your bag is a hammer, everything's a nail. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so brilliant. I'm starting to see more and more people like post that stuff. I'm like, oh my gosh, what an enlightening endeavor. I'm so much smarter now.
right. I like Mike Boyle was talking about, like, you know, quoting information and telling him where he got it. He's like, you know what, after a week, I don't even remember. So after a week, it's just mine. Like, you know what? So I'll steal that too. It's been a week, I think. So
yeah, well, he's got his new book coming out. Did you order that one yet?
I
You're
did.
still working on your own book list?
Well, yeah, I am. I don't know. I think I have a problem. I just buy too many books.
So you set aside time to read or what?
Yeah, I try to at least get an hour a day.
Well, you're doing a lot of I mean, you listen to a lot of podcasts. So what's like on your drive to work? What's that like? What are you listening to?
As of right now, since I'm just looking into the West Side stuff a little bit deeper, I've been dominantly listening to Louis' podcast.
That's Second Shift Live.
Was that?
Now you listen to the Second Shift.
Yeah, now I'm gonna listen to Second Shift. That's right.
Oh, I wish I could tell you the story. You want to hear the story behind it? My idea?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, so oftentimes we work with an athlete. You're doing something. You're doing like that work. And then when you leave, when your athletes leave, they don't see the part where you're like researching and reading and talking to other coaches. So that's why I came up with the idea of the Second Shift. Now the Second Shift, the original one was from, you know who Bose Audio is?
No,
Okay, it's really, really good audio system. Like my headphones are Bose headphones.
Oh,
So
okay, yeah.
there's a guy named Amar Bose. He was at MIT. And he would do his work for the government. And then in the afternoons, his second shift, he would work on his audio systems. So that's what he did. But I mean, I always equate that for us as that second shift. But I always think about parents too. So I'm pretty sympathetic to coaches that get thrown into a situation where like, I'm an accountant. Now I'm asked to be a coach. So hopefully this will kind of help those people out. But that's sort of their second shift too. But that's where we came up with them. Came up with the idea.
That's pretty cool. I think I see it working, yeah.
So what question would you ask you, man? If you were in our position, what would you have us ask you?
Well, first I would ask, who's the messy one at the lab? I was reading the board behind you.
Yeah, it's the upstairs weight room. So.
Oh, it is the weight room. It is, okay.
Yeah, we're in the weight room, man.
Yeah. So we're trying to figure that out.
Yeah, I'm like part of like I remember I used to go to this gym where this old man, his workout would be cleaning up after everybody, and I'm like, can you imagine if everyone cleaned up after themselves? This guy wouldn't even get a chance to work out.
That sucks.
So what are you doing? Like you started doing some speed, agility, quickness stuff. So what are you doing with that?
Yeah, I have a couple kids that are that just came to the CrossFit, and they you know, thinking CrossFit's going to help, and they're some of them were in season, some of the baseball players, and I was like, all right. And I saw them, you know, trying to kip around on the barbell and stuff. And all right, especially the one that was a pitcher, I was like, all right, we're probably not going to do that anymore. And then, so I convinced him to do more of a standardized strength program. So I just had him doing separate stuff. And then if it was like a cardio-based workout with the class, like jump rope and running and box jumps or something, then I'd let him do that kind of stuff. But right now, I think I have like 8 kids that come in Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 3:30. We just do linear, lateral, change of direction stuff for 20 minutes. And then I'd have them do just a regular standardized strength program. And then that's just basically how it's been going. I got a couple of friends from up the hill where I used to live. They reached out to me and got a group of kids together. So I did a little clinic for them up the hill, helping them get more coordinated and whatnot. So not a whole lot with that, but yeah, I'm kind of building that as we speak.
What age group is that? What age groups are you working with?
I have 14, 16,
That's good.
17, 17. Yes, they're just right around there, 14 to 18, I would say. That's
Yeah.
So is that all? That's all under barbell ballistics.
Yeah. I just call that my
And so-
ballistic speed and agility program.
So you're doing weightlifting and then also coaching younger kids, and then you said you want to eventually open your own place.
Yeah, that's the end goal. I'm not in a hurry with that. Not the best business person, but I mean, as I keep learning more and more, and I mean, it's not as difficult as I expected. So yeah, that'll be an end goal for sure.
And you're going to stay out in Riverside?
No, probably not.
Where are you thinking of going?
I don't know yet as of right now. I've had a lot of votes for like Temecula, San Diego area. But yeah,
I'll
it's up
partner
in
with
the
you
air
in
right
San Diego. I
You
could do
want to
some
partner?
speed down there. Yeah, if you go down to San
Yeah.
Diego, Temecula, wouldn't we?
So as far as starting barbell ballistics, what advice do you have for strength and conditioning coaches maybe wanting to open their facility, or maybe having a facility at the moment isn't something feasible, so kind of doing your route of just kind of like having their own thing for now?
Well, I would say all you need is, you know, some general waivers, some insurance, a name, be your brand, have, you know, your filing cabinet with your lock on it for legal purposes, and then just, you know, start doing your camps, your clinics, or looking at going to somebody else's gym and just renting a space and training your athletes there. Kind of being more of a mobile coach, and then just building your clientele. Even if it's not the area you want, you can build your presence via social media, which is kind of what I'm doing. And then eventually when I figure out where I want to be, I'll have, you know, a good backing, and then I'll be able to, you know, thrive a little bit more when the time comes. So I guess that would be my advice. Try to do things, especially if you can do like your speed and agility stuff, and have like a mobile unit and just hit all the places in your area, and then just get well known by each of the schools and whatnot. That'd probably be a great step in the right direction, and that'll help you get some cash flow. Then there you go, get a trailer and then a building facility, and then you're good to go.
Problem solved. You got it all played out.
So being a mobile coach or even starting barbell ballistics, were there any obstacles you ran into?
Yeah, that's why I brought up back up my Facebook, and I opened an Instagram. Like, I'm not very good with social media, so I got to figure that out. So I'm working on that. I'm getting better at my social media presence and kind of seeing what people want to see, and, you know, what's going to get you followers, what's not, you know.
Hashtags, bud.
What's that?
Hashtags. Lots of them.
Hashtags and hashtag. But yeah, that would be one obstacle that I'm currently hurdling right now. The other is, you know, just saving up and buying more equipment so you I mean, not that you need a lot of equipment. However, having a little bit of it kind of makes you look a little bit more legit rather than just showing up and having cones. However, that's super effective too. That's kind of what I've been doing.
So what's your next purchase?
My next purchase, for selfish reasons or for the business?
Let's go business.
Yeah, let's go
first,
business, and you
and
can
then
tell
we'll
us
go
the other
selfish.
stuff.
I would say probably some medicine balls. They're actually quite expensive. I would like to do some more, power training with the medicine balls since when I'm out on the field or something, I don't have weights or anything, just having some med ball workouts for the explosive power and whatnot. And some of the younger kids like to do that a little bit more, throwing the balls around. It's fun for them. So that'd probably be my next purchase.
How about the selfish stuff now?
Selfish stuff?
Yeah, what are you gonna get for you?
I would probably just get an awesome squat rack for my garage.
Nice. I have one in a box in my house.
Oh, really? What's your budget for that?
I don't have a budget for my personal stuff yet.
Oh.
Haven't worked that in yet, as I should. I'm hoping for the lottery to pull through.
Aren't we all?
So what's going on, man? What's your goal for you? Because I know you still like to like. Are you just the guinea pig for your athletes now, or are you still competing?
I'm setting up to compete in October. I think I'll always be the guinea pig for my athletes. I mean, you go to a seminar or something, and they teach you a new exercise. Like, the idea is not to run home and go start implementing it. Try it on yourself, see how it works. So yeah, I think I'll always be the guinea pig first, but I just want them to do stuff that I'm, pretty confident that's going to work, or has already worked. So does that answer your question?
It does, dude. Thank you so much. Hey, so what clinics are you going to? Like, you're going to clinics, you're going to conferences. What's next?
Yeah, I just got back from a nutrition seminar in Las Vegas. It's been a while since I've had a nutrition class, so I thought that would be awesome, to brush up on.
Was it awesome?
Yeah, I liked it a lot. It was pretty high caliber. It was like a lot of review since, it was some of the same stuff. It was like an actual nutrition course just smashed into a weekend.
Okay.
Like, probably like an undergrad, maybe a little bit more advanced. So it was pretty interesting.
Have you implemented what you learned so far? Like drinking hot coffee with coconut oil?
Trying to work on getting shredded. No, I'm trying to practice, the weight cut for some of those people, like my wrestler and stuff that wants to cut weight. He just, throws on his sweatsuit and, a couple days before and tries to drain water. So I'm trying to look at different ways, more healthy ways of cutting and kind of work in that aspect as of right now.
Do you kind of are you trying to convince people to not do it that way? Because sometimes people just want to cut weight. What sort of restrictions what is he a collegiate athlete or is he a high school athlete?
No, he's high school. He's 15 and 16, so I want to make sure he's not just, trying to hurt himself.
Yeah. We've all seen Vision Quest. It's not good to cut weight like that.
Well, I remember one time me and Kyle were working at the rec center at San Bernardino, and I was in the locker room, and this guy was like starting to cramp up. He's like, hey, and then I look at him, and he's like cramping up, and then he started like, being not present with his eyes open, and I walk over to him, check his pulse, and his heart rate's beating like super fast, and then I could see as I'm checking his pulse, I'm like looking down, and I see like a plastic suit, regular clothes, a sweatsuit. Like he had like 5 layers on, and he was just cramping up, like about to go exhaustion. And I was like, oh my God, this is out of control. This is a little weird, but I need you to take off all your clothes. The only time I said that, ever said that to another man. It needed to be said. And then Kyle came in. He's like, oh my God, this guy's out of control. And then like the paramedics came in and everything. It was it's quite intense. So yeah, definitely trying to avoid that situation.
Yeah, that kind of reminds me of it's like loosely related to what you're talking about. But I was talking to a friend of mine, and he was working out in front of his girlfriend, and he's on the treadmill, and he's training for like a triathlon or something, and he's getting after, and he's like, man, I was there, and I totally wanted to quit. I was, but my girl's right there, so I'm like, I couldn't do it. So he kept playing through that, like he's on the treadmill, he's like, I'm in so much pain, I want to quit, but I can't because my girl's right there, and he just kept playing through it. So ultimately, yeah, so like the pride got in the way, and apparently his girlfriend, he doesn't want to let her down. So he's after it. It's pretty funny though, because I could totally envision him doing it too. Because if you know the guy, he's just a good dude and doesn't want to let her down. Which is pretty much exactly the story you told.
Yeah.
Layers of plastic. Yeah, guys are stupid. We're stupid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even alcohol's involved.
Oh yeah. Hey, so I was going to ask you. You asked the gender question. Do you want to ask him like how's it different coaching a female athlete versus a male athlete?
Ego, I would say.
It's like the exact same thing we were just talking about.
Yeah. Honestly, like I'll go up to female athletes and be like, hey, I would like you to try this, this, and this. Okay. And then they'll do it. They'll be like, maybe I should try it with less weight before I even suggest it sometimes. And then they'll just go, and then versus I'll go tell a guy, like, all right, here, like I have to tell him, all right, we're taking weight off, and then this is how I want you to do it. Hey, that's perfect. I want you to stay at this weight for a little while, meaning like a couple weeks, and then, progress from here. Or like if they're back rounds on a deadlift, I'll be like, all right, I want you to lift from an elevated position, until your mobility gets better so you can keep your back flat. I'll turn around 2 minutes later, barbells on the floor, 2 extra wheels on the bar, just screaming. I'm like, oh my God, what are you doing? And then the girls, I almost have to tell them, okay, now you're ready, add weight. You're ready, go, add. And a lot of times I'll have to always tell them to add, like multiple times in one session. And they're like, oh my God, I had like 100-pound PR. I'm like, yeah, it's okay to be strong. I think I read somewhere strong is the new sexy. So I think you're good.
Yeah. That's your quote. That's yours.
Yeah, I've had it for a week, right?
So are you running into females that are still thinking, oh, I'm gonna get bulky lifting this much?
Oh.
Yeah, I just inform them that it's probably not gonna happen.
Well, I mean, even people or females see women in CrossFit and they get the big thighs or like the broad shoulders, and that intimidates them too. How do you kind of combat that?
Well, I just I go over their training program. Like, okay, you're out of control. What are you doing? In a little bit. I'll come get you when I'm done. I'll tell them, all right, so I don't want to look like so-and-so who works out at the gym. She's too bulky for me. That's not what I want to do. I say, okay, well, she's in here 6 days a week. Oh, here's my phone. So, yeah, I'll just tell them how much she trains and for how long. And they're like, oh, wow, I can't dedicate that much time. I'm like, yeah. And with the time you're spending, 3-4 days a week, you're not going to get bulky. You need to do a lot of volume and yada, yada, yada. And usually they understand. And then you can just throw words at them like that they understand, like tone and, whatnot.
And glute?
Tone, glute.
Tone, core, or abs, not core.
Yeah, abs. 7-minute abs.
Abs. What if someone comes up with 6-minute abs?
No.
So what's your day like? So take us through, let's say, on Monday.
question.
We always do that one. So
On Monday?
Let's start with Monday.
Typical Monday? Wake up, breakfast, get my little booger fed, get her off to school.
That's cool day.
Oh, yeah, no, you don't have to go today. You're on summer break. And then I'll do some reading. Then I'll get ready, and
Your
there's a
big
little
fluffy
pony.
unicorn. Your big fluffy unicorn.
Yeah.
So get her fed, take her to school.
All right. Play with the ponies. I do that while she's gone. Otherwise, she'll be mad. Yeah. Get her fed. Go to school. I'll, if I didn't eat yet, then I'll do that. I'll do some reading in the morning. I'll go work out, and then I'll start my day working in the evenings. Start around 3:30 till 8:30 at night, coaching and whatnot. So that's the typical day. Like 3:30 be the speed and agility, and then 4:30, 5:30, 6:30, or sorry, 4:30, 6:30, 7:30 will be CrossFit. 5:30 will be my weightlifting class. And
So what days do you take off? Like what's your day? Like
Yeah, what days do you have your free time to maybe read like you wanted?
probably Sundays would be like my day where I could actually get like 2 hours of reading, and then I can actually do some writing. Because I've been trying to put more content on my website. Sundays probably, sometimes Saturdays. But yeah, that's a typical day. It's pretty sick. Until I start my the new gig. So then when I start the new gig, Tuesday, Thursday will be my days where I'll be teaching. Or
how's that going to change your other schedule with your other athletes?
I just moved them to Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So my Tuesday, Thursdays will be open. So
you can lose anybody in that change?
No, actually. Some of them luckily had changes also, so they had to change days, so it kind of worked out perfect so far. Yeah, I might miss some in the future, but no.
So if a stranger randomly came up to you, what would you say your training philosophy is? So keep it nice and short, concise.
Yes, well, I'm kidding. I guess it would depend on who it is, to be honest.
Let's go with just an everyday client, and then we'll go with an athlete, or trying to convince a parent of an athlete.
So like a general person, I would say I would just convince them about like movement quality and talking about like, being able to perform your activities of daily living at a more efficiently, get less tired, just try to hit on all the perks for them. That's probably what I would start with, being my philosophy. This my philosophy is more like a goal for you, is to move better, be healthier, have more energy to play with your kids or whatever you got going on at home. If who's a parent for an athlete, I would touch on a couple of those things and about, injury rates with children, and talk about just the importance of variety in their training at a young age rather than specializing. And then if it's a high caliber athlete, talk about the importance of, just injury prevention and performance. I guess that would be in a nutshell for those three populations.
Are you doing any recovery work with your athletes?
Recovery work. The weightlifters, I'll have them like drag a light sled for a long distance. I'll have them foam roll. We don't have much access to like whirlpools or anything like that, or whatnot. So I'll recommend like massages if they go get massages, randomly, stuff like that. Just those typical things as of right now. Nothing major. Some people actually go to a cryotherapy down the road. Somebody dropped flyers off for that, so a couple of the athletes have been going to that.
I was gonna show you. Okay, this is how much fairies.
How many fairies? Hold on, I gotta count these fairies real quick.
I know.
These are all the fairies.
This is what the real people want.
Yeah.
Hey, Daddy. Oh, wait. There's Tinkerbell, there's Fawn, there's the Water Fairy, there's the Plant Fairy, and there's Lydia.
Okay, we got them all.
Yes, those are the ones I want. I couldn't.
These are all the fairies.
Yeah, but I can only
I know some of
fit
those.
them in the line in the back.
Okay, that's Tinkerbell. Gosh, what's his name? Which is a fast flying fairy? Ask her the name of the fast flying fairy.
Who's the fast one?
Lydia, and then the one in this dress is the Plant Fairy, and then this is the Life Fairy. This is the Water This is the animal fairy, and this is the tinker fairy.
This is video. So this is okay.
So
All right. Which movie is that? Is that Secret of Wings?
No,
Never Beast.
Never Beast.
Oh, Never Beast.
Secret Bell and the Legend of the Never Beast.
Oh, gotcha. I think I've seen that one. It's on the Netflix.
It's actually sad. So if you want to,
It's actually sad. It's sad because his Fawn never
Well,
gets
don't ruin
know
it for
all this
them.
stuff.
I know. Well, I'm
You know more
nephews
than
and
I
nieces.
do.
I just want to tell them what the end is.
Don't tell them the end. They haven't seen it.
I know the end. I've seen it. Oh,
You seen the Never Beast?
hey. So, what mistakes have you made, LJ?
Yeah.
What mistakes have you made in training, and have you had to fall on the sword and say, "Man, that was my bad. I really, I overtrained you. I should have tapered sooner. I tapered too soon." Like, what sort of mistakes have you made in training, and have you improved on that?
That's a tough question.
It's not supposed to be easy.
Right. I would say initially, that is a hard question. I would say,
Introspection's a tough deal, dude. A lot of people don't do it.
what's that?
Introspection's a tough deal. A lot of people don't want to look inward like that and examine themselves.
Well, I have a few. I was just thinking about this the other day. Now I'm kind of drawing a blank. There's a couple things that I would say, probably out of all the learning and stuff that we do at school, and whatnot, and as I'm trying to apply it and doing my further education, trying to apply that, things kind of get lost in translation. My organization gets a little messed up. So I would say my biggest problem is not, or was not, organizing correctly, trying to take each and every step and following it correctly. And then, so now developing more of a system and following it, training's been a lot better. So, and I've noticed it faster in athletes. So that's kind of one hurdle that I've, kind of jumped over. And then, I would say, oh, that was leading into something else, and I just drew a blank again. Man, I would say taking it a little conservative.
You've been too conservative with your athletes?
Some of them, yeah. The more and more I get into it, some people just need higher volume. You don't see them a lot. Some people just need a higher volume. I mean, obviously, if an athlete's in season, you can only do so much. You don't want them sore, but just getting them a higher volume in their works, for posture workout or stuff like that. Just getting them more reps, more sets and stuff in that. And maybe not even just adhering to sets and reps. A lot of times, if you write, if I wrote a program for all three of us and I wrote 3 sets of 10, tricep extensions for some reason, it might fatigue me and not you guys, so you got nothing out of it. So dealing with the accessory work a little bit differently and kind of making that more individualized based on, how it's working for people rather than just putting out sets and reps because they were, we read that in the book. Sets and reps, it's got to be 3 sets of 10. Sometimes the work doesn't really start till that 3rd set, when that muscle is actually getting worked. Because if you're not working all the fibers, you're not causing adaptation. So, I would say that's probably the hardest part in training is figuring out what accessories work for what people, picking up those lagging muscle groups, that you need to have picked up for your main lifts, whether it be, your squat, your deadlift, clean and jerk, snatch, and all that stuff. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, for example, deadlifting. One client he was deadlifting and he had a rounded back. I thought it was just hip mobility, and we were just doing more and more deadlifts, and nothing was changing. So, doing more of that deadlift is not going to make him a better deadlifter. Now, if he were to do, say, some good mornings, work on his posture while he's, having that hip hinge, strengthening the back rather, is more likely going to help him be a better deadlifter than just deadlifting. So using accessory more so to perfect, the larger movements, I would say. I've been kind of neglecting that. Pendulum kind of swung too far for me. All functional, staying away from your isolation movements, so finding that balance back in the middle.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It does, yeah. I just remember occasions where I'm like, I wish I could have reset and been the coach I am now and coached those first athletes I had. And see what I could have come up with, or just more access to the athletes. I would have been more demanding of that. Like, I don't know.
So as far as your time at Fullerton, how involved were you? How maybe not involved were you? What did you get out of the program?
I was pretty involved, and then I had a kid right in the middle of it. So that kind of made me a little bit more distracted. Ideally, I would have liked to have, moved down near campus and been there a lot more. As it was, is I ended up stopping my thesis and just doing comps. So I would have liked to have been down there and done all that. However, I had new obligations that I had to take, so I didn't get as much out of as somebody who probably lived down there and really was in there 110%. Because it would have been more like I tried to get in and help as many people as I could on their research studies. I probably could have done more, but I still think with what I did, I got a lot out of it. Just kind of, just like talk with you guys in the lab. Listening to you guys study, or helping you guys study, or me asking you guys questions. Hey, have you had this teacher? Whatnot like that. Stuff like that. Just being immersed in it, it was super beneficial to kind of see what that higher level of thinking was all about. Because undergrad you get people that are halfway serious, and then you get to grad school and it's just like this pool of brilliant minds, and it was fun, definitely. So I think I got a lot out of it. It gave me like a good basis to feel confident in going out and finding my own stuff to learn, and really taught me how to learn. I think that's the biggest thing. Taught me how to learn and where to learn.
What was your thesis then?
It was going to be fatigue in the FMS.
Okay. That's right.
I had a lot of trouble finding. I thought it was going to be easy to find because there's so many CrossFit gyms out there. I went to all the ones in the area, dropped flyers off, talked to the owners and whatnot. I thought I was going to get a lot of callbacks. I only got 2 people, so I used a couple people in the gym, and I needed 30 people. I only ended up with about 15, and then time was ticking, so I just shut it down.
Since we're closing to the end, I always ask this question. What piece of advice do you have maybe for students who, like you said, they're undergrads and they don't know maybe they should go for their masters? Just any kind of advice you have for those in the field of wanting to go pursue strength and conditioning, whether masters or just sticking with their bachelors?
I'd say that's up to them, whether they want to go masters or not. I still believe that you should, to be able to work in our field, it shouldn't be a weekend cert. I think you should have that, pretty built up background, at least a bachelor's. I would probably even push for a master's, just because it was so fun for me and I got a lot out of it. But during those times while you're doing your undergrad, while you're doing your master's work, I would say, getting out, doing internships, and not only just one, maybe not at a school, maybe one at a business also. Because that was probably one of the biggest things that I'm lacking is the business aspect of, fitness. What are you, like coming out of school, what are you going to be worth? What's your time worth? How would you structure that pay scale? How do you, are selling packages of 10 better for you? Or is it trying to get people on a month-to-month ratio? Are you going for fitness? Are you going for sport performance? Those are going to differ, niche markets versus whatnot. So making sure you are in complement with your school learning, you're doing some business research on your own as well, or interning somewhere that will teach you that. I think that would kind of make everything come full circle.
Yeah.
All right, bud. Let's wrap it up. Do you have anything that you're promoting? You have anything that you want to talk about before we take off?
Right now, I'm a little stagnant. I'm working on developing some online software So which I'll be pushing that out. So it'll be more online coaching. However, it's going to be beneficial for strength coaches as well, trying to make their lives easier and more organized. So hopefully before next summer that comes out. And then just barbell ballistics, if you're interested in weightlifting, come on out and compete with our team and whatnot. Or, the Fullerton strength team.
I did like your shirt, by the way.
Yeah.
There you go.
Couldn't see it.
All right, man. Go train some. What did she say they were? Genies.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go train genies. So something in sparkle and shine, shimmer and shine.
Shimmer and shine.
All right, man. Well, thanks for being on. Maybe we can get you on like a panel or something one of these days too.
yeah.
That would be cool.
Yeah. Me, Kyle, Garrett, some of those guys, whatever. Ramsey got picked up. He's the Sacramento Kings head strength coach now.
Yeah, I heard that. I had talked to him not too long ago. I need to reach back out. It's been a while.
All right, man. It's good talking to you.
Yeah, you guys too. Thanks for letting me be on your show. It's kind of cool.
All right, buddy. Have a good one.
You too. See you later.